Now, Republican Congressman from Texas, Michael Burgess. Congressman, do you agree that this is not, whatever you think about border security, spending on border security, this is not a border security problem?
Well, it actually started as a border security problem because if you begin to relax the laws and change the laws as the president did with an insecure border, with a porous border, it really only
What do you mean by that?
opens the
How did he make the border more porous?
When the president unilaterally did the deferred adjudication for childhood arrivals in 2012, you knew, Chris, you knew at that point that something was going to give.
If that is driving, if deferred adjudication, deferred action, it was driving this, why wouldn't we see kids showing up from Mexico? We've seen no real increase in kids showing up from Mexico.
No, you do. But I think you just had Representative Cuellar on, and his point was exactly right. He had 38,000 people last month in the Rio Grande Valley, and that is an overwhelming number.
Wait, 38,000, let's be clear, 38,000 who were apprehended.
Correct, because they're not trying to evade.
That's
they're
right,
crossing
but that's
the river
the whole point.
And holding their hands in the air.
Exactly, but
Chris, if I could.
Wait, I want to just make that clear, because I just want you and I to just agree on the facts of the matter here, because I feel that that's been getting lost a little bit when people talk about border security. What is happening at the border is that people are going to Border Patrol agents, right? So just so we're clear, there's not masses of people that are sneaking through and getting by people. It is precisely the presence of
masses of people who are crossing the border illegally, and then it is quite okay with them if they get apprehended, because they have been told once they get apprehended and processed, they'll be released for a court date, and that's basically their free ticket in. The message has gotten out into those countries in Central America that if you can get here, the president is going to let you stay. Now, the president said he's not going to the border. I do not understand that. I cannot imagine President Johnson not going to the border. I cannot imagine President Clinton not going to the border.
If the president went to the border,
Chris, hear me out on this, and said very clearly into the camera, do not send your children to Texas.
He said that into the camera in his last interview.
No, sir. He said it with the wrong... Well, he
said it tonight.
It was a throwaway comment in the Rose Garden. I watched the comments tonight. I was unconvinced. He needs to be clear and unequivocal. Look what Bill Clinton did when he was faced with the masses of people who were going to leave Haiti right before he was inaugurated. And he went on Voice of America with a translator and said, if you come to this country, you will be sent back. I will not change the policies of the previous administration.
But Congressman,
Clinton did that.
Congressman, the law under which these people are being processed, which is a 2008 law, which was unanimously approved by both houses of the United States Congress and signed by George W. Bush, creates a due process for them. The president cannot unilaterally overturn that. I know that Republicans are talking about deferred action, but that is the actual state of the law.
There are expedited procedures that can be followed. Oh, Chris, I was just there. I was in Weslaco last week, and the border chief down there said, we are starting to implement the Honduran pilot, where we'll try to get people back within 8 days. I think that's a good thing.
So the president's point is that this $3.7 billion emergency supplemental request is basically, he said that this is the way to essentially create the capacity to process these people faster. He said if the Texas delegation is on board, we can move this and get it done the next week. You remember that Texas delegation?
Conveniently, he's forgetting about the $40 billion we gave him at the beginning of the fiscal year and the $40 billion we're about to give him for the next fiscal year for Homeland Security. There are the funds within the department to do this. They just choose not to. So he's made a political statement. I need more money. No, absolutely.
Why are they doing that, Congressman? Why are they choosing that?
I have not got any idea, but right now, I mean, Representative Cuellar used the term flood the zone. That's exactly what's happening. They are overwhelming the facilities in the lower Rio Grande. And heaven help us if there's a hurricane down there during the season.
It is your position the president has intentionally decided to starve the necessary agencies of funds to process these people. For what reason?
Well, look, I don't know that I've had a full accounting of the last $40 billion.
But why would he do that? Why would anyone do that?
Well, I don't know, because I haven't seen the particulars of his request. I mean, that's, it just...
No, the request is not. I'm talking about these people right now.
Why did he decide he was short of money? I mean, look, when I ask people down on the border or at Lackland, when did you know this was a problem? When did you know this was different? The answer is somewhere between November and January of this year. So if you knew it was a problem then, why are you waiting till 24, 48 hours ago for saying, I'm going to need supplemental funding?
You're not going to move on this supplemental?
Well, you know, I haven't seen the details of it.
All right.
Any appropriations bill that comes to me, obviously I'm going to look at from the confines of my Committee on Energy and Commerce. I'm also on the Rules Committee, so I suspect I'll be deeply involved in it. But just the fact that the president said he needs more money, I don't know if I buy that, Chris. He's had plenty of money. He's had plenty of time. He's had plenty of warning. He is one step behind.
At the border. Congressman Michael Burgess from Texas, I really appreciate you coming on tonight. I'd love to check back in with you as this continues.
Anytime.
All right.